Bryan Alvarez here on Wrestling Observer Live. We are here every day, Monday through Friday, noon Pacific 3 Eastern, Sundays 3 Pacific 6 Eastern, Saturday mornings with Jim Valley, 10 a.m. Pacific 1 Eastern, Sundays with Andrew Zarian. And it is Tuesday here on the show, and you know what that means? We got a lot to talk about. A lot to talk about today. Last night was Monday Night Raw, and they did a lot of things, as we expected them to. They stripped Seth Rollins of the world title. They had a battle royal to determine who would be wrestling CM Punk for the world title, coming up at Saturday night's main event. We'll tell you about all of that, what happened with Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, and the Seth Rollins update and everything. Lots of news coming out of Raw. And it was a very good show. We got a title change. A lot to get into there. We got NXT tonight. We got AEW Dynamite on Wednesday. And in addition to all of that, a lot of news. Warner Brothers has officially put itself up for sale. Everybody's asking what this means for AEW. Well, the answer is we don't know, and we won't know for a while. We got a lot to talk about today, actually, when it comes to WWE business. It is on fire, and we got a bunch of stats that we're going to get into here today. Tony Khan did a appearance on Z100, talked about everyone's favorite topics, Chris Jericho and Britt Baker, two people who have vanished. We'll tell you what he said, although you can probably guess. We got an Austin Theory update and plenty more. Lance Storm is going to join us here today. If you want to text us, 425-780-7566. That is 425-780-7566. F4WOnline@gmail.com. I'm F4W Online on Threads and Instagram. And F4W Online on Cameo. Grab your Cameo today, everybody. It's a bargain. At Bryan Alvarez, X and Blue Sky. Back in a moment. Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful.
Happy birthday, dear Granny.
Happy birthday, Granny. Happy 95th birthday.
Thank you.
You got balloons behind you as well, Vinny. People can't really see them.
No.
They think it might just be your hump. But it's a very festive
I
day
should not
today.
laugh at that. That's a horrible insult that you just gave
Yeah,
me.
you laughed. It was a good
But it
one.
was funny.
Happy birthday!
Okay.
Happy birthday, Granny!
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, you guys, I don't even know what you just said. Okay, go.
Bye!
Bye, girls. Close the door, please. Rob Wanska, a top fan. That granny is one of a kind. If you cannot see that, you're blind. Whether she's knitting a quilt or giving Brian some guilt, she's the greatest old gal that you'll find.
Was that, who was that?
Producer
That was
Rob.
Rob.
Producer Rob?
Yeah.
Fine
like
job,
that.
Rob.
He has talent?
Thank you,
Great.
Rob.
Wow.
This is Mariah May versus Anna Jay. Anna has a problem. Her top seems to want to drop down. She has to keep pulling it up. Mariah pins Anna for the win. I think Anna just gave up due to the fact that her wardrobe was malfunctioning.
That's what happened?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, if they wore decent clothes, it'd be better. Those T-straps are ridiculous.
Those what?
T-straps. Don't you know what a T-strap is?
No, I do not know what a T-strap
I don't think
is.
there's a T-strap in Brian's closet, Granny.
No.
I don't know.
T-strap. Oh, a thong? Why don't you say a thong?
A what?
Never mind. You don't know what a thong is?
No.
Why are we having this conversation?
What part of the body is it on?
Does it go on the
Woman.
top or the bottom?
On your
Butt?
butt. Yep.
Okay.
Granny had to be very careful. So it's a thong.
Why are we having this conversation?
According to the Old Testament of the Bible, who is the father of both Isaac and Ishmael?
Job.
Abraham.
Wrong.
Oh, really?
Abraham.
I just...
Did you say that?
Yes, he
I'm so-
did.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay. You're right.
Yeah.
I just didn't hear you.
Well, Granny, I hope you had a happy birthday today.
I had to.
Hey, we got a special present for you. You are officially being inducted, yes, into the Hall of Awesome.
It's about time.
Yes. You know what that is,
Oh,
Granny?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I want everybody to see this. How can I show it?
Clearly, Granny is really excited about being inducted into the Hall of Awesome. She's busy showing off her trophy.
Is that an old gray mare trophy?
It's got a horse on it for some reason. Back on the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Lance Storm joining us here today. We'll talk the full Raw report after a while, but obviously the big news is they opened up with the announcement that Seth Rollins has been stripped of the world title. He's undergoing surgery for his shoulder. He will be out an extended period of time. We don't know how long. And they basically did, I believe, the angle they were going to do after WrestleMania here on this show, which was basically the big promo about how this was never about Seth. Paul created this group for Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Seth was a pawn, and that was the promo. Now, what they ended up doing was announcing that CM Punk is already the number one contender, so he is wrestling at the Peacock show. And they had a battle royal to determine who would be his opponent. And originally, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed were going to be in the match. But when Adam Pearce asked Braun Breaker to hand the belt over, Braun gave him attitude. Made him say, "I please." He was a total jerk. And so later in the show, Pearce met with Paul Heyman and said, they're out of the match. And Paul said, "What?" And he goes, "Probably want him back in, don't you?" And Paul said, "Yes." Pearce said, "Well, all you have to do is say please." So, of course, Paul Heyman did the slimy begging, please, Mr. Pearce, blah, blah, blah. And Pearce said, "That wasn't so hard, was it?" And Paul goes, "It really wasn't. It was actually really easy." And Pearce goes, "Good, because they're still out." And he slammed the door. And so Paul had to explain to Braun and Bronson why they weren't in the Battle Royal. And then the Battle Royal ended up being won by Jey Uso after his brother Jimmy saved him twice. And then Jey had no problem throwing his own brother out. And he won the Battle Royal. It is Jey Uso versus CM Punk for the world title at Saturday night's main event. And there's several things that can happen. CM Punk can win when Jimmy screws Jey. Jey could win, although I can't figure out. I guess maybe he could turn heel and win and be a heel champion. My guess is that CM Punk probably wins the belt, but I guess we shall see.
I don't know why they didn't use this excuse. Like, it made sense to pull them out of the Battle Royal, or rather not put them in. Why would you reward the two that in a interview attack destroyed and laid out the world champion? Why would you reward the people that caused the problem in the first place? So pulling them made sense, even regardless of the say please attitude situation.
Yeah, it would have made sense. But I think they wanted the whole, these guys gave Pearce lip, and so then Pearce gave them. It was fine either way. It is weird that they were put into the match in the first place, but what's done is done.
I also thought it inconvenient for Joe Tess to point out that the tag team champions have not defended their belts in over 3 months when you're justifying stripping your world champion because he might be out for a while.
Yeah, well, I think he's going to be out longer than 3 months, would be my guess. But they did defend the titles, and they lost them to the team of AJ Lee, as CM Punk pointed out later. And we'll get into the Raw report after a while. But I want to bring up somebody on the chat. They were thinking about maybe going to see the show, the Peacock show, the Saturday night's main event. But they're kind of, they said they soured this year on CM Punk, too corporate for him. And then someone else noted, yeah, well, you'll probably have to pay $500 for a ticket anyway. And that does bring us to this. A hill Lance will die on, but I'm just going to give you some stats today. So WrestleNomics just had an article that came out They looked at ticket prices, not just for wrestling, but also Polestar, which does tickets for all sorts of events. And they wanted to look at, like, what's going on with WWE ticket prices and attendance, and how does that compare to, like, other things, not just, like, wrestling. So, WWE ticket prices, since TKO took over, have frickin' skyrocketed, okay? Prior to, the death of WCW, WWE ticket prices averaged about $41 a ticket. This was in the late 90s. $41 was the average ticket price. So, obviously, WCW died and WWE got really hot in 2000, 2001. And it peaked in about 2001, 2002 at $67 was the average ticket price. $67. And then, of course, for those of you that remember that period, kind of started to really suck. And by 2004, they were down to $47 as the average ticket price. So from 2005 to 2015, for 10 years, ticket prices averaged $53 a ticket. That's for all WWE domestic events, including pay-per-views. That was your average ticket price, $53. And then around 2016, they kind of bumped up a little bit. And through the pandemic, they averaged about $61 per ticket. Okay? So
during the pandemic,
this is well, yes.
They weren't selling tickets.
Well, I mean, they still,
Thunderdome,
obviously
you were paying
take out
$63.
Well, for that, they didn't have no fans for that long. It kind of bottomed out, but once they opened back up again, it was still $62. So really, from about the year 2001 for 20 years, it averaged right around $58 a ticket for 20 years. Okay, so the average ticket price now is $118. The line goes like this and then shoots straight up. They are currently $118. And this, by the way, is all adjusted for inflation, by the way. So their ticket prices have doubled in the last couple of years. And this is like the gigantic straight up in the air. This actually is an aberration when you even compare it to everything else. The only, I guess if you look at average event ticket prices for the nation, it's like, yes, they have gone up. The top 100 tours in North America have gone from 114 to 140 on average. So they have gone up about, $30 a ticket or whatever, but not WWE, which has gone up like $60 a ticket, $70 a ticket. So the NFL, their ticket prices have declined. The one that has increased is the NBA, where they have increased 21%, but that's still way below WWE's increase of 60%. So their tickets are sky high. They're the highest they've ever been by like double. And if you look at the last 5 years, there is still no indication that things are slowing down. Their attendance in 2021 was averaging 7,500. 2022 was averaging 7,600. 2023 was averaging 9,900. 2024 was averaging 11,000. And as of October 20th this year, they're averaging 11.5. 11,500 is the average. And this does not count North American shows. This is all Raw, SmackDown, whatever house shows they're doing. It's all domestic. So they're still on the rise, although actually the decline hasn't slowed down because 2023 to 2024 was almost even. They only averaged an extra 100 tickets. The increase was 100 tickets on average. This year, the increase has been 500 tickets on average. So they've actually increased more this year than they did increase from 2023 to 2024. So their business is out of control. And meanwhile, looking at AEW, it is clearly not a wrestling thing. It's a WWE thing. Because...
but also, too, and this is where you're ignoring certain important information, doubling up SummerSlam and doubling up big events like that skews the average because you're adding more big events and you're getting rid of more house shows.
Well, yes, but they haven't been doing house shows.
So the average goes up.
Yes, but they haven't been doing house shows in a while, and they've had
adding stadium shows sways things.
Yeah, because people are buying tickets for them.
But they're
back in a moment. Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. Granny, how are you feeling?
I'm good. Set up an exercise program.
What kind of exercises are you doing?
Well, for one thing, just sitting.
I got that one down. Sounds like my exercise program.
Your exercise is just sitting.
Who was the most inspiring person you have ever met?
Granny of late.
Fair enough, yeah.
Yeah.
I got nothing better.
I'll have to say myself.
Okay. What's the best part about having a massive heart attack?
Not dying, I guess.
There you go. Good answer.
Jeez, what a question.
Which vegetable would you send to outer space for aliens to try?
Broccoli.
How do you have that so quickly?
Ridiculously fast answer.
You've thought about this before.
It was at WrestleMania, the one in Phoenix. I can't remember which one.
I gotta go. I have to sneeze. Bye.
Okay, bye, Granny. Granny laid on the guilt trip to end all guilt trips. Sorry, I wrote. Forgot we going 30 minutes late. And then you began. Gee, thanks. 30 minutes late. Was not told. Aggravating. I guess my time doesn't mean anything. Jeez.
Wow.
Golly. You happy, Granny? You made me so angry. You're over there snickering, laughing at what you've done. God.
Good.
You're going to have a heart attack.
Anything
like
else?
Granny.
Yeah.
Goody.
Goody, she says. The news of you having a...
What medication
arrest.
did they give you? To make the heart blacker? You enjoying yourself, quietly giggling over there? All right, Granny. What have you got today?
Nothing.
All right, we'll see you later.
You better have something after all that.
Liv Morgan versus Ray Ripley. Just recently.
That's the date.
You told me that you watched CM Punk and Drew and didn't watch any more of the show, but this was on the show.
I know. I watched this one because I wanted to see what happened with Dominic. In which Midwestern city did rapper Eminem grow up?
Detroit.
Eminem?
8 Mile.
Okay, we had a new segment, Granny reads rapper names. That's
I'm an M.
I am an M.
Eminem.
Yep.
Eminem.
Ryan Adams covered an entire Taylor Swift album. What is the name of that album?
Ryan
1989.
Yeah.
That's the right answer, dum-dum.
Excuse me.
Okay, now I'll quit picking on Brian and go away.
Thanks, Granny. Right, God, this whatever's going on here just crashed my... Jeez. There we go.
Jiminy Christmas, Brian.
Jumpin' Jehoshaphat! So anyway, AW ticket prices. There's only 6 samples this year, so it's, much fewer sample. It's a smaller sample size than previous years, but their average ticket price has dropped from $58 in 2022 to $49 in 2025, at the same time that their attendance has also been falling. So this is not a... it's not like when with that indie boom, and for whatever reason, like everyone was just raised up. This is a WWE boom, and I'm not sure it's raising anybody else up except WWE. Probably because nobody else can afford to go to shows. after going to all these WWE events. So anyway, we'll see what happens. I feel like we're heading towards a decline, but I think people felt like that last year and it didn't happen. So I guess we'll see what happens. We had another, we got to talk about this. This actually was a bigger story. In a move that's been expected for quite some time, Warner Brothers has officially put itself up for sale. WBD, obviously the primary media partner of AEW. They are doing, quote, a review of strategic alternatives to maximize shareholder value, which is another way of saying they are looking to be sold. Previously announced June 2025 plans to split up their various broadcast entities and other properties into two separate publicly traded companies by mid-2026. Still ongoing as the potential sales process proceeds. AEW is in year one of their current WBD TV contract, which runs through 2027. There is an option for 2028, but it is an option. So they had unsolicited interest from multiple companies, it says. One of those, Paramount Skydance, although WWE turned down, quote, a lowball offer. And as of January, Paramount Skydance will be partners in a 7-year UFC media rights deal. So
I guess the real question is, and that'll be important, is whether there is an exit clause in their contract. Because don't most television shows are subject to cancellation? So it's not like they have to keep them for 5 years? I don't know.
Well, it would be another year and a half, actually, because 2027 is the end of the actual contract. And
Well, yes, but don't most television contracts have an out for the network to be that they can cancel shows?
Well, they can cancel a show at any time. I mean, you don't have to. I mean, you can cancel a show. I mean, everyone's asking what this means, and the answer is we don't know. We don't know anything. But, you know, there's a reality here, which is everyone that says you don't need to care about ratings, I hate to break this to you, but actually you do. Because a quick reminder of what happened with WCW is they were sold to AOL Time Warner. And no matter what you hear from your Eric Bischoffs and your Kevin Nashes and whoever, the fact of the matter is the reason they got canceled is because they were dying. And they were a money pit, and they weren't particularly doing all that well. If there had been that merger in 98, for example, it doesn't matter how much Jamie Kellner hates pro wrestling. They ain't canceling.
That show was hot.
Incredibly hot program. But when you do a merger and the guy in charge doesn't like wrestling, and then he looks at the wrestling, and he finds out the thing's losing $62 million, it's not a difficult decision. So the point is, if AEW can manage to stay in the top 5 on cable, and, you know, they're doing very, very well when this sale goes through or when 2027 comes along and the deal's up, I think they're fine. But the problem is, if the show is not doing well and WBD sells and whoever buys looks at how the show is doing and they're like, this show, I mean, it's too expensive based on how it's doing, and it's done. They're going to need to find a home elsewhere. So this is why these numbers are very important. I know people hate talking about them. And, you know, here's the thing. If you don't like ratings, there is no use talking about Netflix right now. There's no use talking about most of these deals because WWE is they're not going anywhere. They've signed long-term deals. How they do on Netflix next week doesn't matter. But it does matter for AEW because it's the end of 2025. They've got a year and 3 months left on this deal. So if things go south in the next year and 3 months, that ain't good. That's the story.
And it's important top 3, top 5 is more important than the actual viewer numbership.
Yes.
Being a successful show is the key.
That's what a lot of people don't understand when they go, it's not doing $1 million. Well, you know what? How much is doing $1 million right now? So if TBS and TNT have their list of top 50 shows and AEW is regularly at the top, everything's fine. Because you know what? If AEW does 100,000 viewers and everything else on the list is 50,000, they're fine. It's a comparison for how they're doing for the network. If the network's happy, if they're doing great for the network, awesome. If they're not awesome. So it feels like a race because right now most of wrestling, WWE and AEW, are being affected by the new the big data plus panel.
Nielsen.
So like they got to get all that figured out within the next as quickly as possible so we can have some impressive numbers. So when the time comes, and honestly, with this sale here, these sales don't take place in a weekend. I mean, I'm not even sure this sale would go through before that deal's even up. So there's a lot to process here. But if anybody tries to tell you that this is good or bad for AEW, don't listen to them because we don't know if it is or not. We have no idea. So that's the update on WBD. Then we had the usual, I'll ask you, Lance. I'll give you something to do. Tony Khan was on Z100. He was asked about Britt Baker, and he was asked about Chris Jericho. What did Tony Khan say?
He said they're both great, and he would love to have them back.
Golly. That's exactly what he said. Regarding Britt Baker, he said she's been away from AEW for a while, but still very much with us. And at some point, hopefully soon, I would love to see Dr. Britt Baker come back. Then he was asked about Chris Jericho, and he said, we are so grateful to Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho is somebody also I would love to see back in AEW anytime. The door is always open to get Chris Jericho back in here, and he's been busy. He's doing a lot of things.
Well, that is true. Chris Jericho does do a lot of things.
So, anyway, nothing has changed in the status of either individual. So, I can tell everybody, I don't think this is like news or anything like that, but they both, it's in terms of like physically, because people always ask like, remember Britt Baker had those mini strokes and she had some health issues for a while. In the case of both Britt Baker and Chris Jericho, they could probably be on the show Wednesday with no problems. There are no health issues. They're just not there. So that's the story. So remember we had the Observer report about Survivor Series, and they had those Survivor Series teams, and Austin Theory was listed on the heel team. Well, we now have WrestleVotes stating that sources indicate that there are still voices within the company pushing to keep Austin Theory involved, even after the recent shuffling caused by Seth's injury. The idea of Theory joining the Vision was at least discussed. He still has internal support moving forward to reappear on TV in a significant manner. I did say, that as weird as those teams were when the report first came out, I did say that I can see it happening because Paul Heyman has always been a big fan of Austin Theory, and they've always seen him as a guy that should be something, and he never hit that level. He was doing nothing with Grayson Waller. They took him off TV. He allegedly suffered an injury. And I could very much see them repackaging him, bringing him back, and putting him with Paul Heyman. And it appears that was the plan. So,
speaking of injuries, did Stephanie get hurt last night?
I think she tweaked her knee, but I was told she was walking around fine after the show.
Oh, good.
So I think that she's all right. I mean, she definitely tweaked her knee because she tripped on the ropes and grabbed her knee. But I was told that she's fine. I was told that both Eric and Xavier Woods are fine. There was a question about that on the Observer radio show last night. They're both on a scheduled vacation. So that's why they weren't in the Battle Royal. There's no injury. And we'll talk about Raw after the break. Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful.
I am going to channel the well-known, infamous roast of Bryan and Lance.
Oh, my God.
I vaguely remember this.
Lance was a champion in virtually every company he has appeared in. While he did hold the distinction of holding 3 titles, that angle fizzled out faster than his podcast, Killing the Town.
Wow. I now remember this utter disaster of a roast.
Let's get Lance a chair to sit in. And as we do, could we also bring someone up here to show him how to use it? I remember that chair shot. I don't remember who it was on, but
utter silence that this roast was met with.
Tom, at least I was smart enough not to do those chair shots again.
Bryan, besides me, there are others who I'm sure dislike you, like Vince Russo, Eric Bischoff, but I think you're great, like a guiding light or a father, which is why I'm not surprised when you screw me every week. The best-selling author of The Death of WCW. He had just completed his new book, for which actually Lance Storm wrote the foreword, which is 3 more than most wrestling fans know.
Hideous. Atrocious.
It must be hard when you look so young. If I didn't know better, I'd say you had your grandma's genes. But actually, if the camera panned down, I bet Lance is wearing them. Anyways, let's start the show. Carmelo went for the La Mystica. Andrade went for the Message.
It's actually not the La Mystica. It starts like a La Mystica, but the La Mystica is actually a submission, and he doesn't land in the submission. He just does the whole slam part and then jumps up.
Yeah, the La Mystica is a tilt-a-whirl head scissor into a Fujiwara armbar.
Into a Fujiwara armbar. The La Mystica is not the submission. Do not tell me.
I didn't say that was a submission. I said the La Mystica involves the tilt-a-whirl facebuster into the submission. The whole thing. Why are you so angry?
Well, you just changed what you said live, right?
Yeah.
No, he doesn't land in a submission. He just slams them. So it's not a La Mystica.
I believe that's the actual move.
Okay,
but
whatever. Who cares?
I just hope Editor Sean pulls up the exact clip of you saying La Mystica's a submission and then denying it afterwards.
La Mystica is actually a submission. I didn't say that was a submission.
La Mystic is actually a submission? I didn't say that was a submission.
Editor Sean.
Back in the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. This guy goes, Russo said Cena is in talks with AEW. For what? You don't think WWE's going to pay that guy like a salary for the rest of his life? Think again.
Yeah, he's going to have a Legends deal.
God. He's going to have more than a Legends deal.
Well, it'll be a very lucrative one.
I was going to say, isn't it like 10 grand a year? I mean, he's going to be making more than that, brother. That guy ain't going nowhere. He's going to keep selling shirts. By the way, I want to mention, because I'm always right. Remember when they moved Wrestle Dream out of the Seattle area? And they moved it to St. Louis or whatever? And I was all angry because they ran those shows in Kent with no lineups and did terribly. And I was like, why'd you move it out? It's not going to draw, blah, blah. Yeah, it drew 8,000 in Tacoma, 6,200 in St. Louis. Should have stayed, Tony.
They'd have been able to bleed in St. Louis, or in Seattle.
Actually, I'm not sure because we have a commission too. Actually, I don't know if we have the commission anymore. I have to think about that. I haven't wrestled here in so long. I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe there isn't one.
Blue Jays beat Seattle, too, just for something to mention.
I heard. Too bad. Sucks to be those Mariners, doesn't it? All right. Show opened up with the segment we talked about where Braun had to return the belt back to Adam Pearce, and then Paul cut the post-WrestleMania promo months early. Then we had Dom meeting with Judgment Day, and they were angry that Dom had them put in that match with AJ and Dragon Lee. And Dom goes, I beat AJ twice. You guys can't take care of him? Finn said, damn right we can. We're the tag champs. They told Dom to handle Rusev on his own. And then Roxanne tried to cuddle up to Dom, and Raquel didn't want any of that. Judgment Day versus AJ Lee for the tag team titles. I thought this match was awesome. Just a great match, great heat. People are on their feet. They had a spot where AJ hit Finn with the phenomenal forearm, and like there's no one in sight. And these fans are sure it's over. He's dead in the middle of the ring. And they count 1, and they count 2, and this frickin' JD, like, the speed of light, he flew into the ring. Perfect. And they still counted 3, and then they were so mad that he had broken up the pin. That was the best near fall I think I've seen in the entire year. It was incredible. And then Finn hit the coup de grace, Dragon broke it up. The people are on their feet. And then AJ and Finn fight over the clash. AJ hits it, gets the pin. The place goes bonkers. And it was an awesome TV moment. This was like the best thing on the show by miles.
Yes, this is everything that I've been asking for. A significant, important match with a clean finish. It was frickin' great.
And then we had the Usos backstage. Jay apologized for what they said to Jimmy last week, and Jay goes, I wasn't mad at you, I was mad at myself. Starts talking about Roman. Jimmy says, Roman's not here. You and I are here. This guy is full of it. He says you lost the title because you were helping too many people. You lost the title because you lost faith in yourself. And Jay says, you might be right, but maybe Roman's right. And Jimmy said, you better figure it out because we got this battle royal tonight, and I'm going all out, including on you. And Jay said,
which was a lie.
Well, yeah, he was. He saved his brother multiple times. We had Dom versus Rusev, which was, I thought it was a good match, but like nobody cares about Rusev. They're all into Dom as a babyface, and he worked as a babyface in this match. Tried to cheat with the hammer. The ref caught it as he's getting rid of it. Dom hits a foul, a 619, frog splash, gets the pin. Fans are going crazy for this guy cheating to win. And then Penta hits the ring afterwards, hits Rusev with a tornado DDT. All 3 were involved in elimination in the Battle Royal. I think we might be getting another one of their favorite multi-person matches coming up for this title. Thought it was all right. Becky Lynch and Maxine. I got to get everyone else's opinion here. I thought this was the best Maxine in-ring performance I've ever seen. Dave thought she was better in their last match. I strongly disagree. Yes, the last match had better heat because they had a better near-fall series at the end. And this one, because Maxine had won via count out, I don't think people ever actually believed she was going to win at any time. But as far as like her in-ring work, I don't think they botched a single thing in this match. It was as good as it's going to be. And then they had the most mind-numbingly terrible finish as Becky hit her with the belt for the DQ. Atrocious. Absolutely atrocious finish. But as a match, I still can't name a better Maxine match.
I think I've only seen 2 Maxine matches, so I really can't comment.
What was the other one?
The count-out one.
Well, which one do you think was better?
I don't remember enough. I don't retain match quality in my head.
Well, if you watched more Maxine matches, you would have. Because this stuck out.
Stood out more?
Yes.
Well, good for her. Apparently she's working her butt off, so.
They showed clips of Rhea's broken nose, and then Asuka did an awesome promo. Asuka she is the freaking greatest. And her and Kyrie are going after the tag team titles. I think they should win them immediately. And then you can do the title series with Rhea and Io. But man, she is great.
Yeah, really, I like the backstage interview segments where they go back and forth with English and Japanese and subtitles.
Yes.
It's actually reminiscent. TNA used to do it with the Lucha Bros.
Really?
Yeah, Penta and Phoenix, when they were in TNA, God, pre-pandemic, they would do segments like that. They're awesome.
Then we had the Adam Pearce segment that we talked about earlier. Then we had Stephanie and Roxanne, which they actually botched more spots than Maxine and Becky did. It was a rough night. It was actually mostly Stephanie. I don't know what happened, but like she kept slipping. And actually, they tried the bridge up spot twice, and they failed both times. And I think Roxanne was just too low on her body and not pushing hard enough.
Yeah, they overlapped too much.
Yeah. And
you want your armpits closer together, not head to crotch.
Yes, so that failed twice, but the crowd was polite. And then...
I wonder if Stephanie tweaked her knee doing that. There's been a lot of people hurt their knee doing that bridge spot.
It's possible, but... I mean, she seemed to work totally fine afterwards. It wasn't until she fell off the ropes on that post-match thing that she was really hurting it. But anyway, they ended up with Raquel outside. Steph dove onto Raquel, throws Roxanne in the ring, hits the angel wings in the lung blower, gets the pin. And then they double-team Steph afterwards, but Nikki Bella's music hits. She comes down to make the save. This is when Stephanie fell down on the ropes and hurt her knee. And it was bothering her, but she was on her feet moving around. But I think she just probably like hit her knee really hard, would be my guess. You know, sometimes you just hit your knee really hard right on the like patella. It just hurts. I think that's what she did.
Well, hopefully she's fine.
Bailey met with Lyra. It's Lyra's birthday coming up, and so Bailey wants to do a surprise. Lyra does not want a surprise.
Well, if you're talking to
bad.
her, it won't be a surprise.
No, it's a surprise. She has a surprise, Lance. You know a surprise is coming, but you do not know the surprise. And Lyra does not like that either. She does not like uncertainty in her life. This Lyra Valkyra.
She's in the wrong business.
Tell me about it. Then Paul had to meet with Braun and Bronson and explain why they weren't getting a Battle Royal shot. And he does this big... I didn't like this segment. And obviously, you know, this was not like a plan because of everything that happened with Seth and everything, but he has to explain to him that, you know, Brock Lesnar walked in, he could have killed everyone day one. But he listened to me. Took his time. 5 months later, he beat The Rock. And CM Punk almost got fired from this place. But he listened to me. Ended up with a long title run. And nobody remembers the big dog Roman Reigns, he said, which was preposterous. But they remember the tribal chief. It takes time. You two are the future of WWE, and he walks away. And then they had Braun and Bronson, who like have been such great characters. They have to turn into such dorks. Braun just looks at Bronson and he goes, "Man, I got a lot to learn." And Bronson says, "Yeah, me too." I'm like, you idiots. What is this? It's ridiculous. Preposterous. And Nikki goes up to Stephanie. She goes, "I'm so proud of you. Now you're the champion. Just want to let you know you got a target on your back. Everything changes when you win that title. Be cautious. I wish back when I was champ, somebody would have guided me." And Stephanie says, "Thank you, Nikki. I owe you one." And Nikki goes, "You know, funny you said that." And I thought, oh, man, here we come. Here we go. But no, Nikki said, "I just made 2 enemies. I'm going to need some help." So they're going to do a tag deal. Nikki's turning heel at some point. It seems inevitable to me.
No, she already did for me, just because I have issues with people having pride in someone that they had no tie to their success. Like, why should Nikki take pride in Stephanie's success? She had nothing to do with it.
It's a good question. So then we had the Battle Royal: El Grande, Americano, Kofi Kingston, Grayson Waller, Sheamus, Rusev, Ivar, Tozawa, the Usos, Dragon Lee, AJ, Otis, Penta, and LA Knight. So, like, a bunch of geeks that have no chance of headlining Saturday night's main event.
You didn't think Tozawa was going to challenge Punk for the title?
What is Tozawa doing in this match? God. And you look at, like, the rest of the show, and it's like, where's Who else was on this show? Actually,
Was Dragon Lee in the Battle Royal?
Yeah, Dragon Lee and AJ. They worked twice.
AJ was.
Yeah. So anyway, by WWE, largely geek battle royals, this was good. They had stories for everybody involved. I think they set up some future matches. They paid off some different things, like Judgment Day got to eliminate Dragon Lee, so they'll get a rematch, I'm sure, at some point for the tag titles. And then they had the whole thing with Rusev and Penta and Dom and
Sheamus and the Judgment Day.
Yep, Ivar and Rusev, which people like that meat match. And so finally, they do a spot where there's a brawl, and every referee, these idiots, every referee goes to take care of this brawl. And so no one is there when Dom gets eliminated. And so he's like, I'm getting back in. And he gets back in. And so at that point, it comes down to basically, it was, where are the last five? It doesn't matter. Oh, AJ, Dom, LA Knight, and the Usos. So the funniest part of this match is LA Knight putting AJ in a reverse crab. And CM Punk on commentary cannot help himself. He's like, he's putting a submission on in a battle royal. Maybe I do want to face this guy. He's an idiot.
And then he gets kicked in the head.
And he was an idiot. He got kicked in the head because he put a stupid submission on in a battle royal. So AJ tried the forearm. He gets double super kicked by the Usos. They toss him. Jimmy and LA are tied up in the ropes. And Jay, after being saved twice, runs and eliminates both of them. So he's in the ring with Dom. Dom goes for the 619, but Jay just backdrops him over, wins the match. So it's Jay and Punk for the title. They have the big face-to-face stare down, and in the background, once again, you see Jimmy. It's the second time this has happened. Two guys facing off, and Jimmy's in the background, and he's disappointed and disgusted with his brother.
But it's all his fault. They agreed in their backstage promo they would fight each other and be all for themselves in the Battle Royal, and then Jimmy saved them.
You know what? And I think that's by design, because I think that he's being portrayed on the surface as like the sympathetic babyface, but he's going to turn heel. Because they're not turning Jay. Jay is united with Roman, who's a babyface. So in the end, they're going to say that like Jay was doing the right thing, trying to win, and his brother was an idiot and then turned on him because he's mad. I think that's where we're going here. Back in a moment, Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. Jared, put old Granny on. Let's see what she's up to. Oh, man, she's doing something. Oh, Lord.
She's trying to plug in the box, Brian.
Granny can't connect. And so I call her on the phone, and she alerts us that she apparently knocked the box off her desk. Whatever's happening right there, that doesn't look good. She knocked down the camera now? What's going on?
She's got a hold of the camera, I think.
She's okay. Well, we've got the ceiling at least. There's the box. Hey, we got the box, Jared. Does it look like it's plugged in?
No.
It's definitely not on.
No.
Okay. That's her back, I believe. She appears to be doing something.
Apparently yoga.
That's her hair. Are we sure that's not Ric Flair? Now she's got to find the phone, too.
Think anyone's going to still subscribe after the show?
I hope we get a bunch of video signups. This is interesting.
Is it now?
Oh, man, we can almost see the front of the tie line to see if it's on. But we can't. We can only see the side of it, as well as a flashlight and dice. I don't know why there are dice there.
Well, you never know when you're going to play dice in the dark.
She's still doing something.
That's good radio, boss.
Show that again, what's she doing?
You know what's a good show is the Big VV show.
Is it?
Or if you Pod Armenia 2025.
She might be tying her shoe or something.
Ed and San Antonio show.
Granny is furiously doing something. It's possible that we should sabotage the box every week.
No!
So that she can, get up and down, like Roddy Piper once said. No, I know. I'm calling you. Phone. I'm calling you. Oh, my God. How are you?
I'm exhausted. Oh, I want to tell Vinny I watched his show today.
Thank you, Granny. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good.
Good. That sounded very sincere.
Stunning review. Well, can we please make that into a commercial, Jared, for Vinny's show? Apple Podcast carries every podcast that we produce.
Oh, I want to tell Vinny I watched his show today.
Thank you, Granny. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good.
Good.
So check it out, f4wonline.com/Apple. Try your free trial today. What is happening here? Yes, Granny?
I don't care if it's show or what. My computer went out and I can't fix it.
Okay. Jared, can you fix Granny's computer?
But he tried to get a pin.
I am Steve.
Brian, what are you doing?
Now my child is sending me a voice message.
Steel chicken jockey.
Well, this doesn't sound good. It's from the front page of WrestlingObserver.com. On social media this afternoon, Sol Ruca posted a video announcing she needs to address the NXT Universe tonight. NXT General Manager Ava said she will be appearing with Ruca during the segment. Some unforeseen circumstances have come up, Ava said, and I know she really wants to talk to you guys about it, so I'm going to be out there with her, and make sure you're watching because you're not going to want to miss it.
Hope she's okay.
That sucks.
Yeah. Well, potentially.
Potentially. So there's that tonight. And then there's Ricky Saints and Trick Williams Halloween Havoc contract signing. Leon Slater against Stax. OTM versus Hank and Tank. And then this men's speed tournament. Axiom against Sean Legacy, which actually should be incredible. And then Zach Wentz and Jasper Troy, which we'll see. Speed matches. 3-minute time limit. Go as fast as you can. Anyway, that's what's going on. So,
Hopefully Sol Ruca's okay.
yeah.
I'm a big fan of hers. Worked with her in TNA for a bit. She seems like a really good person.
Let's see. I'm getting an update here. And it's not really an update, other than I think she is injured. But we're going to find out tonight, so we'll talk to you about it tomorrow, guys. And that's it. Don't forget Bryan and Vinny's show tonight, 20 years ago this week on TNA Impact, the week of October 22, 2005. It's going to be a lot of fun, so check it out. And that's it. We'll talk to you next time. Wrestling Observer Live.